Welcome back to part 2 of this week's episode of Smack Talk. It's time for us to get into the hot tags of the week, breaking down some news, rumors, interesting stories, and whatnot from the past few days in the world of sports entertainment and professional wrestling. And we're going to start off by getting some lukewarm tags out of the way. I don't think there's much to talk about for these, but, why not throw them out there? We've got the Adam Rose situation with his mugshot t-shirts. He decided to start selling them, and now he's not selling them anymore because he realized that might be kind of a bad idea. But that's not the only t-shirt story this week. The Pabst Blue Ribbon t-shirt that John Cena had, that parody thing, they decided not to be dicks about it, and they're letting them do that. So, one person decides to sell t-shirts of a mugshot, shows how his state of mind is, and then pulls it. Pabst Blue Ribbon pulls it and then says they're going to change their mind or whatever like that. If you want to buy t-shirts, go ahead and buy those things or whatever, but I would much rather suggest you would go into our TeePublic page instead. Wego, do you have any thoughts on those things? I didn't think so, but...
I don't see why Adam Rose pulled his mugshot t-shirts. Just do it. I mean, it's fucking out there. You might as well make a profit off of it.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, I don't think I know anybody that would ever buy an Adam Rose mugshot t-shirt, but if you believe they'll sell, do it.
Or an Adam Rose t-shirt, period.
Well,
or an Aldo Rose t-shirt. Ugh. Gross.
I guess it could be in kind of bad taste given the circumstances it was under, but fuck it. It's already out there now.
Mm-hmm. I just think it's weird that he's able to use that.
It's his own likeness. They can tell him not to use a photo of himself.
I would think it would be some kind of legal issues with whatever county arrested him or something,
I don't think so.
Maybe they don't care. Maybe they're just kind of like, fuck it, you're a criminal. Alex Riley might be joining the TNA roster soon. That's not going to make us watch it, but it's something to watch out for. And, yeah, he's a good enough talent that TNA should pick him up. Why not? What else we have here? We've got WWE is signing their first Chinese talent, Bin Wang, to a developmental deal. Let's get this out of the way. Let's just laugh at the name.
Yeah, dude, fucking change your name.
Bin Wang. It's just cultural differences, man. We're always going to laugh when there's a Wang joke, especially if it's Bin Wang. It's like, oh, you've been Wang?
I hope he talks like fucking Amy's dad out of Futurama. Don't make a character like my favorite.
He's just going to walk around the roster trying to set up all the divas with future husbands. That's racist.
Being Wang means big business.
Hey, good for WWE trying to get more into that Chinese market. And they also had that PPTV deal, which, is that a Shane McMahon thing?
I don't fucking know.
Because he was doing that whole thing with...
he was doing, I think, You On Demand or something like that, so I don't think it's the same one, but they could have connections.
I'm a little curious if it's going to be one of those things where that's one of the reasons why he's back into the company to kind of work those deals out, but cool. Doesn't hurt. It only helps. What else we have? We have Kalisto was going to be that 7th man in the Money in the Bank ladder match. They accidentally put up a graphic that had him in there. So fucking Kalisto, he goes from Money in the Bank to wrestling the Dudley Boys on the pre-show.
At least he got a win.
That's true. But you gotta be pissed if you're in that situation, right? It's like, you are fighting for a chance to win that World Heavyweight Championship. Or you're not on the card. Or, you're just tagging up with Sin Cara on the pre-show.
Yeah, probably better to get a win than go for a ladder for no reason, because he was obviously going to take a sick bump.
Mm-hmm. Well, it shows, again, too, that they don't really have that much invested in him.
I think that he blew his opportunity. He was given a pretty big one. He beat the guy that beat John Cena for the title, and he floundered it.
I think it's partially on WWE's fault, though. They didn't really give him that much to do.
He wasn't very entertaining during those times. The few times he got on the microphone, he was blah. Honestly, you've seen one Kalisto match, you've seen them all.
Can't argue against that. That's the same kind of thing I always used to say with Rey Mysterio.
But Eddie died.
I don't want Mysterio coming back, by the way. A lot of people talking about that they're going to bring a lot of older people into the company again. Rey Mysterio is one that just don't do it. He's going to get injured.
Yeah, I'm in definite agreement. Rey Mysterio is very injury prone. I believe he sits out a lot of the time just to collect a paycheck and royalties. I think he's very unprofessional from the last few years in WWE and the last few years in WCW. He's not painted a good picture for himself. I respect him for everything he's done in the ring, but between just the way he's acted and the way he's deteriorated in his performance in the last years, there's no reason to have him on the roster.
He's probably going to ask for a shit ton of money too.
Yeah, probably. So
So,
I don't fault him for that. I believe you're only as worth as much as you can get.
no, I mean, if I was in his position, I'd be trying to get as much money as possible. Like, everybody should, at the very least, but he ain't worth it. So, if you got Kalisto and you can't really even push him, why bother with Mysterio? We got, Jerry the King Lawler was arrested for the domestic violence dispute. We talked about this on a small package, so we're not going to really break that down, but it looks like more and more information keeps coming out that points that he might not necessarily be in the wrong here. And we were, by the end of our small package, that sounds so terrible to say.
Well, stop calling it a small package, Christ.
By the end of that podcast, special edition, there you go, we were pretty much on board with supporting the King. And now
Yeah, we we ended up breaking it down and like trying to piece everything together. And the scenario that kept coming back is this bitch likes her alcohol and acts like an idiot when she does.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of people thinking that he might have gotten, in bad graces and he could get fired. I don't think that's going to be the case now. I think he's going to be exonerated.
As I said, we did mention that normally this would be a scenario where it's a sure thing he'd get fired, but that seniority might work out for him.
Mm-hmm. Just the benefit of the doubt, especially if that's the situation with like her being at fault and such. They might just be like, yeah, dude, crazy girlfriend, huh? All right, welcome back. We have two things with other problems with arrest. Actually, one of them might not necessarily be. We don't know for sure, but Paige was supposedly arrested at Money in the Bank.
Nah.
Now, I don't know. I mean, there's some rumors that it might have been something filming for Total Divas.
Swerved.
Could be swerved, yeah. Or it could be even screwed.
Who gets into the back of an ambulance in handcuffs?
Was it an ambulance you got in the back of?
It was a fucking ambulance.
Well, the ambulance could be tied somewhere into Del Rio's injury. Now, he got injured, and Paige and Del Rio are dating. Maybe there's something going on where, like, Del Rio got injured. There was something dealing with the ambulance. Paige has a temper. Maybe she got, fuck you got to take him now kind of a thing or something like that. Maybe they wanted to arrest her to be like, yo, calm the fuck down. Something might come out about this. Now, she wrestled on Monday Night Raw. Del Rio didn't. So Del Rio's injury seems like it's legit. Paige's arrest, a little weird. No mugshots out, as far as I'm aware of.
Like, it looked like an ambulance to me, and even if it isn't, just the way she's just casually walking up the steps with no real enforcement, and then in addition to that, TMZ would have got a hold of this by now.
Yeah, that's true. TMZ really gets on the ball with that.
Yeah, they're like, what? Someone's life can be ruined? Woo!
There's our bread and butter, baby. Oh, wait, did somebody say something racist? No? Damn it! The WWE Draft is set for the live SmackDown episode Tuesday, July 19th at 8 p.m. I don't know if we're going to be covering something special when it comes to that, but maybe. Either way, we don't really have all that much information about it. There's really nothing to talk about. They're not giving us shit to work with, so...
Dude. Roman Reigns is suspended.
What's that?
Roman Reigns got suspended for his first violation of the wellness policy.
Did that just happen?
Yeah, it's real.
Oh, wow. Damn, we got a breaking news thing if we had that kind of a thing.
Yeah,
Reigns suspended. Holy fuck.
WWE announced Tuesday that Roman Reigns, real name Joe Inoue, or whatever the fuck it is, has been suspended 30 days effective immediately for his first violation of the organization's talent wellness program. Reigns issued the statement on Twitter this afternoon regarding his suspension. I apologize to my family, friends, and fans for making my mistake in violating the WWE's wellness policy. No excuses, I own it.
Well, fuck. That is changing that Battleground match.
Yeah, so much for that triple threat match. Well, if you thought they were pulling the trigger too soon, you're in luck.
Wow, damn.
Finally, this shit happens during the hot tags.
Right, instead of like 2 hours after we do a fucking episode.
Whew.
Damn, alright. That's a real. I hate to say, like, I'm happy about this, but that's gonna be definitely the biggest selling point for the hot tags this week. Man, Roman Reigns getting suspended. Holy fuck. Well, that explains. No,
Yeah, when you title this, make sure that's the first thing that's fucking in it.
Oh, it definitely is. But you know what? Now I'm kind of curious. Did he get suspended before Money in the Bank, and that's why they took the belt?
Oh, he lost clean too. This might be punishment.
But then, if that's the case, why did they do the double count out?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, it was probably after. See, people are saying so that's why he lost the title, but they announced the Battleground match. It makes no sense.
Man,
And a lot of people have been saying that he's looked bigger recently. I actually said it last night when he was coming to the ring, and I was like, man, Roman Reigns looks fucking buff.
And he doesn't say anything about, like, with what's his name? Adam Rose. He was saying, like, I'll be, they'll prove that it's an incorrect wellness policy violation. It was a whole thing with the Adderall or whatever like that. Roman Reigns just flat out saying, my mistake, sorry.
I think this was roids. Or something similar to roids, because you can buy shit that's not technically one, but does all the same shit.
Ooh, man.
Well, if you didn't want Roman Reigns to be on top, this might solidify that.
Yeah, that's going to be a real big hit going forward, because not only does that screw up the Battleground match, that means they can't trust him as much. Fuck, dude, this is going to be a big thing.
Like, fuck, I can't believe that. I just can't, like, there was a rumor about this once before. Do you remember heading into WrestleMania season? I don't think it was the Lesnar Mania. Yeah, it was the Lesnar Mania. There was a rumor swirling around that Roman Reigns got popped for steroids. I don't know if so, and people saying WWE is covering it up. Well, I guess you can't say that about him.
No, if they did this right after that whole thing last night.
Because that's such a huge announcement. They would not announce that match if they didn't have the intention of doing it, because you're kicking yourself in the balls.
Unless there's maybe this is something really, I don't know. I'm suspicious of WWE nowadays. Maybe they knew this going into Money in the Bank, and they set up that match because this is a way to get people excited and then to... No, you know what? No, this is a real one. I'm not even going to speculate about this. This is a real suspension. Because if they wouldn't have had... If this would have been a storyline, it wouldn't have been a suspension thing that they would have said. It would have been like a fake injury. They don't do fake wellness policy suspensions. They take that way too seriously. This is a real one. It has to be.
It's a real one, and this is big news. This actually changes the entire landscape of the company, because SmackDown would have been the Roman Reigns show and Raw would have been the John Cena show, or vice versa. It's 30 days. 30 days is not a long time. He's going to be back before you notice. With that said, what position? I have no idea. Does he come back looking incredibly smaller and his look deteriorates, so his favor and his stock deteriorates? Did they just not trust him anymore?
Oh, you know what I just realized? You know what's less than 30 days away? The draft. How do they draft him if he's not on the show?
Maybe they just announce it anyway.
Oh, man.
But maybe he isn't the first draft picked anymore, and that's like a fuck you to him, because he's a surefire bet to be one, right?
Right. You got to imagine that Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and John Cena are the top four. Top five if you throw AJ Styles in there.
Top six if you throw Lesnar in there.
Oh, yeah, Lesnar. All right, there's top six. Fucking Roman Reigns going to be number 7 now. They're going to throw, like, Sin Cara in there instead.
Fuck. Wow.
Thank you, WWE, for releasing this at 3 o'clock in the afternoon instead of...
I just, like, saw it pop up. Like, Ben Guest had posted it 22 minutes ago in the Mega Maniac, so it's been out for a while, but Brian reposted it, like, right just now, and that's why I called it. I'm glad that he did what he did, so thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you guys to the Mega Maniacs chat. Yeah, some more information about that when it comes down to it. The last thing I had set up for this set of hot tags, which originally was going to be the biggest story, not anymore, was the AJ Styles Stone Cold podcast. We both got a chance to check that out. I liked it quite a bit. Same thing with you?
One of my favorite ones that he's done. I like the Triple H one. I liked the Vince one, but this is up there too. There was a lot of information about AJ Styles that I learned for the first time today. Because I watched it pretty much right before we recorded this. The abusive home life. Basically just saying I left TNA because I didn't get paid enough, and they wanted me to take a pay cut. There was a lot of different things coming out of this, so really insightful. And they both had a really good charisma and energy, and played off of each other very well. It was like watching a conversation more than it was. So your family wrestled? Yep.
Instead it was like, so your dad was a real piece of shit, huh? Yeah, but he was a great guy too.
Yeah, that was a little weird. I think he just probably felt bad, like shitting on his dad on a public forum like that, but it was it was the truth, so it is what it is.
My dad beat me up a little bit, but he's a great, fantastic guy.
But it's like, and it probably was awkward because like they spoke about it and left it, and Austin brought it back about 6 times.
Yeah, and every time he brought it back, he made it a point to also reiterate that he was a good guy. Now you mentioned that your dad beat the shit out of you, but he was a fantastic person on top of that.
when he wasn't on the sauce. Yeah. So that was funny, but I feel bad for Styles. It sounded like he came from a dirt poor family and had to just work his way up. I guess it's kind of like the story you like to hear about these guys who are successful.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense with the work ethic and all that for him to be like, well, I'm poor, I got to work for everything that I've got, and then that's why he ends up putting up so much. Like he said during it with the TNA section, he said, I feel like you should get paid for what you are putting out there. And it's like, that's true, especially for somebody who knows the value of the money that they need. They're like, well, if I'm doing good work and all that, I should get rewarded for it. And he tried so hard, you could tell that he didn't really want to shit too much on TNA either. But it was just kind of like, yeah, TNA kind of sucks.
To be fair, he knows that in worst case scenario, he has always got a home as long as TNA lives.
Mm-hmm. I mean, New Japan, I'm sure, would welcome him back immediately. Ring of Honor would welcome him back. TNA would be like, please. But he also said something that I really, really liked hearing with this, which when Stone Cold said, what do you think the future's got in store? He was like, I really want to kind of like stay in this company and be like a trainer and such. I was like, cool. That's the mentality I like.
Please do. He wants a job there for life. What I liked is it also sounded like his wife was ultra supportive, which it's hard to do in the wrestling business because, like, not seeing your guy because he's on the road or in a different country or some shit. Mm-hmm. And she has 4 kids to raise, and she stuck by him the whole time. That's pretty fucking awesome.
4 boys, too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, boys are a fucking handful. And like,
You don't talk about the women good enough. We can be a handful, too.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I thought it was a really good episode. I thought that it was a good change of pace from the past couple of ones. Like, Paige's one was terrible. I didn't really like the Shane McMahon one that Foley did. So it was nice to hear, like, one thing I don't like about the Stone Cold podcast, and pretty much all of them, when they do this, I don't care too much about the backstory of a lot of these people when it comes down to, like, well, I was raised in this town, and then I met this coach in high school that really helped me a lot. I know a lot of people do like that stuff. It's just not the thing that I really love. I like when they start getting into where he says, like, there's 3 guys I can really depend on here. Frankie Kazarian, Samoa Joe, and Christopher Daniels. It's like, oh, cool. They actually are that tight together. And when he said about that he had that match with Jerry Lynn and he learned a lot from him, that's the kind of stuff I like to hear. So good on AJ Styles. And he wasn't nervous either. So he's getting a little bit more comfortable with that. Austin didn't seem like he didn't really want to interview him like he did with Paige a little bit,
He's just going to watch. He's like, at the start of the podcast, he's like, can I give you some advice? You like kick Cena harder. Oh, okay.
Yeah, just beat the hell out of him, all right? So I like that quite a bit. I think if everybody hasn't checked it out yet, go ahead and check it out. It's not one of the ones that you should just skip because it's not worth it. It's a fun
So,
little hour.
so next week on the hot tags, John Cena injured after beatdown.
The hot togs.
Hot dogs.
Hot togs.
Hot
All right,
tags now
guys.
in pog form.
Those are the hot togs of the week, everybody. Leave your comments below. Tell us what you think about these things, especially that Roman Reigns suspension. That's a big, big one. And we're going to take a break. Rest holds coming up next. And then our main event and the final part of this episode, instead of that Fantasy League, part 4 is going to be a call the spot of the Money in the Bank losers. So go ahead and check out part 3 to get some information about all the things in the Rest hold. Part 4, the main